And the song is by this guy, Paperboy. And I'm going to read y'all what was playing. So there's going to be some cussing, but it's not my words. Bitch, I need reparations. Niggas tired of dancing like the Temptations. Sell a dime bag or that new crack fentanyl. The same reason Prince killed. My dick is like a tree trunk. Baby, catch this tree sap. Kicked you out the condo. This ain't the place you sleep at. Baby, slide on the dick. You can do it all night. You can be my baby mama. You can't ever be my wife. Here's where it gets crazy, y'all. Said no to college, 'cause it's no fun. Mo drugs and mo guns. But I still might have to slap a trick. Shout out Colin Kaepernick. I'm sorry. It's just like, this is what was on.
And now that it's over, I'll never be sober. I couldn't believe. And now I'm so high. And now I'm so high.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Blake Money, Blake Weather. Welcome to another episode, Unfiltered Bachelor, the Breakdown Series, Atlanta, Season 2. And before we get started, I just want to let you know, feel free, if you like this, if you like these episodes, feel free to follow us. iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are. That's where we are. Let me introduce the panel real quick as we get set to discuss episode 3, season 2, Moneybag Shawty. Did I pronounce that right?
Shawty.
Terry, did I pronounce that right? Shawty?
Moneybag Shawty.
If you couldn't already tell.
Shorty.
From Ballin' on a Budget ATX and soon to be Ballin' on a Budget Denver, we do have the one, the only. It's Terry. What's up, Terry?
How's it going? I'm so glad to be now like a real part of the show. I was hoping, I was like telling people, it's like I'm on this, I guest on this podcast. They might have me back, and now I'm like, yeah, I'm on this podcast all the time.
I'm a guest on this podcast. I make it so much better. Those other two idiots really need my help.
Right. He's like, they white and they don't know shit. I'm the black guy on there. I know all the shit. I tell them. Really, Terry is the mastermind behind this podcast. I just want to let everybody know. Oh, yeah, you heard his voice. You know him, you love him, or sometimes you just don't even know who the fuck he is at the bus stop. It's Jeff.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Good to see you after like 3 whole minutes.
For us, it's been 3 minutes. For them, it's been a whole nother episode. Duh. Hey, duh.
I had to wait.
And the reason we bring Jeff on every week is because he is our IMDb trivia, IMDb trivia master. IMDb trivia master.
Internet Movie Database.
He's our trivia master for every episode. Jeff, I want you to go ahead and let's hit him with the facts. What do we got about this episode?
All right. First things first, this episode coming in at an IMDb rating of 8.5. And then they gave us 3 pieces of trivia. I think Blake's going to give us a little more. Trivia piece number 1. The woman that cries in the beginning because of the lyrics Paperboy got in his songs is a reference to the woman who criticized and cried when she saw the lyrics for North North by Vince Staples. 2. And I love that this is an actual bit of fucking trivia, guys. 2, shawty or shorty, because they do spell it both ways in this, refers to a man, woman, or kid, depending on the context of the situation. And
Jesus.
3, hen is short for Hennessy Cognac.
Oh, my God. The facts.
It's like I wrote all the trivia, guys.
Surprise facts. Jeff wrote all the trivia, guys.
After he asked me these, I always wondered why Jeff kept asking me these questions randomly. I thought he was just curious about black culture. Now I know he's right.
He's been using me for IMDb trivia.
This motherfucker. He wrote wave caps are a real thing on the last episode. This son of a bitch. They really work. I didn't know this. Juneteenth is a real thing, y'all. He wrote that piece. I want y'all to know.
Oh my god.
Jeff, we clown too much. We play too much because we clown and play too much. Lead us off, not only on our IMDb trivia, but on our top 3 takeaways, noticeables from this episode, please.
All right. Well, number 1. All right. So first off, like, if there's ever been a more blatant show of racism in one of their episodes, I don't remember it. I mean, just the way Ern's getting treated. Like, I was getting so offended for him, and then I was like, oh, right, no, that's just what a black person deals with on a regular basis. Yeah, like, I'm sitting here like, how dare they not take his money? And it's like, yeah, that's the point of the episode, Jeff. So that's 1.
Mm-hmm.
2 is just Terry.
Terry is our co-host. Yes.
It's oh man, I gotta stop watching the TV while I'm trying to talk.
You're talking about Tracy?
No, actually, this time I wasn't.
Oh.
This time I was actually thinking about what Van was saying when her friend was like, when she was talking about how they were all supposed to go to a concert, but then the one friend goes, well, I'm going to get the VIP tickets. And then expecting everyone else to be able to do that too. Because I've been in that situation where it's like, hey, I can do $40 for grass seats. And it's like, well, we're all just going to get the $400 tickets. It's like, I don't know how you think that and 40 are the same thing. I understand the numbers look similar, but I can't fucking do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 was just, God, I hate strip clubs. It's just, I mean, it's just every part of, they're just trying to get as much fucking money from you as they can. They're not trying to give you anything for the money. They're just trying to take the damn money. And it's like, yep, they showed that pretty well in this episode.
I love it. I'd like to go next. I'm very scared because I feel like Terry's going to have some fucking badass top 3. Last time we did this, he nailed it with the top 3. So I'm going to go ahead and go next. Terry, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, go for it.
This intro, first of all, it being based on the Vince Staples Nuff Nuff song, I went to go watch it. It's like 9 minutes long, 11 minutes long. It is one of the most hilarious things I've ever fucking seen in my life because all it is it's this video at the beginning, just longer and more hilarious. And obviously this lady's an actor. Oh, and side note, I'm going to add a little caveat to this. The Instagram page for this lady, it is called, her name is, it's Lily's Mom _11. This is an actual Instagram page. I'm not following it, but I did click like on some photos.
But I'm gonna.
Clearly, everybody has followed it and written Paperboy and written Colin Kaepernick. You know what I mean? Stuck up on this tree sap.
I love that. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick is the line that made her start crying. Oh
my God. That broke her. It was just too much. That's what broke the straw. That's what broke the back. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. Colin Kaepernick.
The Colin. I died laughing when I read that. Let me see. There's one line in here that gets me. My dick is a tree trunk. Baby catch this tree sap. Hang on. Kicked you out the condo. This ain't the place you sleep at. I'm fucking dead.
Reading a fire rap song though, what Paperboy song is that? That's not the Paperboy song.
No, it's a different one. It's a different one that's did because probably of the streaming and everything. They probably
got 38 tracks on the one fucking album, right?
Mo drugs, mo guns. So like when you hear the lady though on the Vince Staples like talk about that song, and she's basically crying. It's basically this video, just YouTube version of it, and it's longer, and it's fucking hilarious.
Is that lady white as well?
Yes, she's a white Christian lady. She almost looks like her. Like they picked somebody that looked like this lady, and she in fact says the N-word multiple.
They actually got the lady.
That'd be fucking.
That was
hilarious.
gonna be my question. Does she actually use the N-word?
She actually says the N-word more than once, but she says it like these are their words, not my words, and like she blatantly.
You're still saying it.
She cries at the end of the song too. Like she reads the whole song, she starts crying, and it's one of the most. So anybody, I think that was my first bit of trivia. This is real. Please go watch it just for the sake of laughing your ass off. Hey, second of all, hey, Clark County, I love him to death. As if we didn't know in the last episode. Right now, he dangerous, and that guy crazy. That got crazy.
Clark County's a killer. Without blood on his hands, though. That's
smart killer.
Scary. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I will never fuck you up. I will never fuck you up.
Godfather, man.
I will never fuck you up. But I'm not the only one with hands. You know what I mean?
I'm not
never
the
lay
only
my
one
hands
with
on
hands in the world. Jesus.
Oh my God! What kind of cryptic dude? And it's so funny because he's so like. He switches the way he switches. It's dark, and then he's like, "Paperboy, we having a good time, right? Right?
Yeah.
Like everything's cool."
Paperboy, listen to that track. That was cool, huh? Right?
He's like, "What I did right there,
Yeah,
right?"
that was awesome.
Listen to that.
I'm going to get back on that track
again.
as long as this guy remembers how to do his job.
Right, because and he's so like snarky, right? Because you're doing your job, right? Because he's doing his job, right? Right? Paperboy, that shit was dope though. Like he's so funny. He's so like it's exactly like Terry said. He knows how to fit into this world. He knows enough how to be dangerous, but also mix it in with like with just like the right amount of like I'm also an artist, but also like I'm just this dangerous enough. But it's kind of I know you don't want to take me serious, but you should. But also, we're having a good time. Like, he mixes it in so well. It's so fucking great. Clark County, I think Clark County is my second. Like, it's so great. And then the third part, and it's part of what you're saying, though. It is blatant racism. We'll probably touch on that. But it's the world fucking with Earn. After he makes this argument with Paperboy, like, when Paperboy's like, money, man. Money's all you need to fucking make it in the world. And he blatantly gets a good amount from this streaming check. And it's still not enough to make an impact in the world. Like, it's still not enough.
Did you ever figure out how much he makes from it?
I
kept trying to like slow it down and see it, and I wasn't able to.
I paused it, and it looked like it was like $1,300. I paused it though.
It's not bad.
I paused it, but like maybe it was not meant for pausing, but I paused it, and it looked like it was like $1,100, something like that. Like it was $1,000, and then like a couple $100, something like that. So, I bet you Terry's looking this up right now. I see that look in his eyes. But like it's this whole blatant move of the world fucking with Earn, even when he thinks he's trying to stunt. Like a big theme of the episode is stunting, and we'll get on that. But like it's the world fucking with Earn, like him trying to be like, I can do this, and they're like, actually you can't. Doesn't matter how much money you have. And we see it blatantly. The movie, the theater, the bar, the strip club, everybody's fucking with Earn. I have a deeper meaning of again why this all happened, but those are my top 3 takeaways before we get into it too deep. Terry, take it away.
My top 3, it's gonna be talking about the stunting thing, and just as I talked about on last season, stunting versus fronting.
Oh, yeah.
And how this kind of episode makes it seem like you got to have both. It's almost you need an even amount of stunting and fronting to make it work. And my example would be Tracy in the strip club, where, you know, he's like having a good time, way better time than Earn getting lap dances. And, you know, he's all stunting on everybody. But he was telling them that he is Paperboy's manager. Straight up fronting right there. But he made it work. And you see Earn with, you know, he finally has the money. He can stunt. but he's not doing it right. He needs to front up a little bit, like Darius and Paperboy told him. It's like you need to start acting like you're better than everybody. So you still need to front more, even though you have the money. You got to act like you have the money too. You don't have that right image. Like they said, he doesn't dress like a dope dealer that way you're like, oh yeah, dope dealers, they have all kinds of money. That's not fake money right now. Or like you said, a white guy dressed like him. He's a white guy. But Earn is like, yeah, I don't know who this black guy is. Just some average, person, whatever. So that was my number one.
Get rid of that green jacket, and I think I have Earn's exact outfit in my
and that whack-ass Coca-Cola t-shirt. Also, I love the DJ that was at the strip club. Just so amazing.
Calling him out.
We got a boy in the building, got a white girl on his arm. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Amy. But he's like, I saw you get tip her. I saw you get $200 out of your PNC checking account.
He's like, how do you know? Yeah.
The DJ knows everything, Just fucking.
Okay, and next one.
Next one is just how terrifying is Clark County? We just see him, how he doesn't do anything, but he gets stuff done. Don't you fuck up. Don't you fuck up on his tracks. He got his right-hand man, Bugs, to handle you. And just, it was just so scary. Just how he he's like, Bugs, I'm going to go take a walk. Then Bugs steps up, just like, hey, I think it's time for y'all to go.
Y'all should go home. Y'all should go home. Yeah.
I think you want to go. I thought he said, I think you want to go home right now.
Yeah, and it was
somehow more terrifying.
They were just bounced.
And it's
Paperboy was terrified. Paperboy was supposed
when
to be
Paperboy's terrified,
he was terrified.
Yeah, when Paperboy's terrified, you should be terrified. You're like, oh, this is worse. There's a bigger fish out there than Paperboy. Like, oh no, oh no, oh no, I know.
So, with Clark County, is it just me, or is it the fact that he's like can be like that, scary and everything? Is it even scarier because he doesn't drink or smoke or do anything? He's completely sober when he's that terrifying.
I wanted to say that, I just don't trust somebody who's just like, I don't smoke. Drinking, that's cool. I don't drink, though.
But y'all can do it. But y'all can do it.
You brought all that stuff? That's so awesome. No, I don't want any of that. Like, what the fuck?
But y'all can do it. Yeah, but y'all can do it. And then he raps about doing smoking weed and doing hen, and Paperboy blatantly looks up like, nah, you a lie, you a lie.
But also just the lyrics they keep giving Clark County are so fire. Like we talked about the Yoo-Hoo song, now we have this one, and it cuts out at the best part. I want to know what happens when you buy a dinosaur like Nicolas Cage. What's he gonna rhyme with that?
It always starts off a little
like Nicolas Cage.
It's always a little cheesy. Like it starts off like burr 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 burr, and you're like, what the fuck? And then he gets into it, and you're like, okay, what's the word? And you're like, oh that. Okay, it starts to make a little bit more sense. You're like, I was literally like you, Tara. I was like, okay, I'm starting to get into it. I'm 4 lines in. Yeah. Wait. God, what happens when you buy a shit like Nicolas Cage? Oh man. Yeah, this episode is fucking great though. From top to bottom, I have so many notes. It's so we talked about how the season already brings a level of tension, and what we see, one of the aspects that we weren't introduced into the last episode with is the Van. Quite frankly, Van. We didn't see Van in the last episode. We're introduced. She's introduced
in episode 1.
In episode 1, I think she was in it. Maybe I'm going to go with the soft maybe. I don't remember off the top of my head. I've also been drinking, so this is not a good time to ask me. But we're introduced to Van, and this
who has not been drinking? Clark County.
Yoo-hoo. But we're Van is thrown into this world of tension, and by the end of the episode, like start to finish, they're in the limousine. They're all wanting to do something cute. We see Van or Ern getting his mail to him, and by the end of the episode, the beautiful shot of them sitting on opposite sides of the limousine is it couldn't be more. You don't even need to say anything. You know what I mean? You don't need to say any. Like you can see where the relationship with these two is headed. Not to give anything away of the rest of the season, but like it blatantly looks like the tension between these two, like from the universe that they're in, is impacting them. Maybe I'm looking into it too artsy. I don't know. But that's my takeaway with these two. Nothing? Nobody? Nothing? Want to move on?
No, nothing at all. I thought it was interesting how, so like clearly, I think the important thing is that at the end, Ern's not mad at Van. He's mad because, the world's been against him tonight, or how the system's against him tonight, or everything. And the person he seems that he's really mad at is himself, because he had these expectations for how the night was going to go, and they went obviously the complete other direction. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to episode 1, what Uncle Willie, Eddie,
Willie,
Uncle Willie.
Yeah.
Uncle Willie tells me, get that fucking chip off your shoulder, man. Like it's not worth it. And
you don't want to end up like me.
Yep. And Al and Darius had to tell him in this one, like, dude, stop thinking you're better than everyone else,
Yeah.
And his whole night is fucking ruined because in the end, because he wasn't allowed to stunt on someone, and he was mad because of that. And it's that's also quickly becoming a very important part of this season and Ern's character in general. And I think his relationship with Van and their date night tonight proved it. You know
what's so funny, and I didn't think about it until right now. Season 1, episode 3, he takes Van on a date. Right? Is it
right.
Season 2, episode 3, he takes Van on a date.
Oh. This is just lightsaber. Luke Skywalker.
Oh, this vest? That's from Kroger's across the street. Yeah, I just put those two pieces together, but that's so crazy. The comparison, the contrast of where he was to where he is now. The date we could barely afford. He had $64 to work with, and now he's got all the money like he could ever want to fucking work with. Had anybody else thought of that? I'm sorry. Like if anybody else thought about that before this episode, I'm like, yeah, I'm with you.
When it comes to money with this episode, I just kept thinking, Ern gets that check, and he probably wasted
all of it
tonight. If not,
all of it.
At least 3/4 of it.
All of it. All of it's gone. The limousine, trying to get in the club. The hookah bar that they went to, he made out. He made out with some money. Because there was never a point.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
There was never a point where they took back the other 20 that they gave him.
I actually noticed that too.
He made out with $60, to be quite honest. He made out with $60.
But I mean, the limo is going to be at least $200.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the table was probably at least $300. The bottle of tequila was $200. Well, because usually it costs more to buy the table than it costs to buy the bottle.
No, when you buy a bottle, like I've gone to so many clubs, like this is not a thing, like bro, like, and that's why I was like, I saw this and I was like, this is not a thing. You buy a fucking bottle, you get a table. The bottle doesn't come with the table. The table comes with the bottle. I've done VIP too many fucking times. Like that's why when they are like, you got to buy this, you got to buy this, you got to buy this.
Maybe he didn't buy the table because maybe they just got it because Paperboy was there.
I have a feeling that might have been it, or I have a feeling.
But we do know he buys the bottle for another $200, and then he buys $200 in singles for $160. I'm sorry, he buys $160 in singles for $200 is what I meant to say.
Okay, every time I watch this episode with someone new, I have to ask them, like, I personally have only been to a couple strip clubs.
I've never had that happen.
Never had that happen. Has that ever happened to anyone? That's not a thing.
I've never.
No, it's not a thing. So this is
Not a thing.
here's my next point. So we as we get into this season, this robbing season, this robbing season is real. Clearly, Ern is robbed in this whole entire episode. He's robbed from top to bottom. He's robbed from going to the movies. Yep. He's robbed from having an experience. He's robbed, hands up with no fucking gun at the strip club, blatantly. He is robbed of experience. Like this is literally robbing season at its finest when you have money. Terry, you're right. This is not
How about
a
that
thing.
fucking dance?
Oh, 3 seconds, and then she's like, "Oh, it's gonna be $20." It's like, that was 3 seconds. Like the song just ended.
Because it's per song. It's per song.
And you know what this reminds me of? Each episode is sort of and we'll get to the one episode where this sticks out. But every sort of episode almost feels, you're right, like tension. Jeff, you talked about this in the last episode. But almost every episode, it feels a little bit more and more, this could be in the thriller or like a scary movie genre, because like this is like a Twilight episode. Like imagine a world where the Twilight, the Twilight Zone. Ern is literally trapped in Twilight Zone where he's got money and can't spend it. Imagine,
right.
Imagine that Twilight episode where you're like, you have all the money in the world and everywhere you go, they won't take it. What do you do?
Well, I think the closest would be the Twilight episode where the guy just wants to read quietly and he comes into a world where, like, but he can't because people keep making all this noise, and then like he finds himself in a world where everyone else is gone and he's got unlimited books, and then he trips and he breaks his glasses.
It's that. This is that. This is that. This is basically that, man. Yeah. He was. I mean, it's just. It's a Twilight. It turns into this whole Twilight thing, right? Like where people even like people know he's in the Twilight world, this Twilight Zone world. Like the cop when he tells him like, "Hey, man, we all knew that was a real 100. What owner was tripping." It kind of pulls the curtain a little bit of like, oh, like. He's still in the real world, but not really. Like, this does not happen.
Well, and it's interesting that you bring up the Twilight Zone stuff, because the first thought I had when you said that was, look at some of his music videos.
Twilight.
Campfire, where he's dead the entire time and no one can hear him.
Right.
The end of Oakland, where
Oh.
he's the crazy, creepy monster thing.
Or a sweater, right? Like...
Yeah, where he's just walking through, literally walking through
yeah.
the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to shout you out there, Jeff, because your guy had one of the best lines, and this is from one of my favorite scenes in the episode. And Terry, you could probably appreciate this because this scene's fucking great. When they're at the bar at the beginning, after the white lady does the rap, that whole scene is fucking hilarious. First of all, because that black guy, the black bartender is like, "Man, fuck you! Man, fuck you!"
I love that. God, that's stunned. That he's stunning. He's a waiter, and he's just stunning on him. Just that line. He's like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of Paper Boy. Can you put me on?" He's like, "Well, actually, it was like, fuck you. I'm talking to Paper Boy." It's just okay.
The emotion in his voice.
Fuck
Man,
you.
fuck you!
Every time anybody makes me mad now. That's the emotion range I go for. Is what he says.
It's a
Every time I want
bartender.
to tell somebody off, it's that. That's where I go. That's my place to go to. Is his attitude.
The reason I wanted to bring that scene up, though, is a shout out to Jeff's boy, Darius, because I'm just going to forever know Darius as Jeff's boy. He says one of the best lines that Jeff has talked about this character, and you did too, I think, Terry, in our season 1 review, where we were talking about how kind of Darius is kind of the medicine man, the shaman of this universe.
He's my Atlanta shaman.
Did you notice the line he said when everybody's like, when Ern's like, "Man, I feel you." Yeah, I feel you. And then he goes, "I feel everything." And they look at him like, what the fuck?
So Darius.
That's so Darius, bro. But is it true? Is it
You know what
true?
else Darius said at the time is, first off, yes, it's clearly true. It's Darius. He does obviously feel everything.
He feels everything.
and not just in this universe. He feels everything in every universe, guys. But Darius also points out, he says, man, that white lady freaking out was the best thing that could have happened to us. And like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, outrage marketing is a thing nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you guys saw this, but so the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, the one that came out
yeah, I saw it.
Remember, I loved it, by the way.
I had no objections to it. It was
I had an absolute blast with it, But you remember how when it first came out and everyone saw the design of Sonic and they're like, "That is the worst.
That is the worst Sonic ever." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it turns out that was never his design. The design we got in the movie was the original design. They put the bad design out first because it got everyone talking.
It works.
Yeah. Like that's an actual thing that people do nowadays, outrage marketing. And I mean, they just stumbled into it on this, but hey.
It's the old adage, there's no such thing as bad publicity. And we see that at the very beginning of this episode. This lady's just railing Paperboy. And like he says, I can't believe my song has now gone gold. I should send her a gift.
Do you notice what they say when they take the shots? They said, to white tears. Oh, it's so fucking great, man. But yeah, there's so many. Another theme, too, of robbing. It's low key. It's reference, though, is when Ern was talking about, like, they something red-handed. He was robbing that race. Red-handed. And then.
Yeah.
And
they were being racist, and he caught her. Like, I caught her red-handed.
I caught her red-handed, and then Van's like, you can't say that. It's like, because you talk. Well, she's like, why? She's like, because Indians, you're saying red-handed, like, because they used to steal. And he's like, that's a thing. And she's like, nah, I'm just fucking with you. But she's also like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where that came from. But there's a lot of like references in the last two episodes, which is before we even started record. I was like, these two episodes are very connected in these different ways that a lot of people they won't catch on to. It's stealing. The word steal and the word rob is continuously brought up, and the themes of each one of those is continuously brought up. And in this season 2, the theme yet again of racism brought up, and it was Jeff's first fucking point when you came on, man. Well,
I mean, Ern keeps saying it's legal U.S. tender, and that's one of my things. It's like, but that's the thing. I have used that phrase so often because I am the whitest human being on earth. But that's the thing. Like, legally, they have to actually take that. Like, that's like by law, they had to take that fucking money.
Right.
So like that drove me fucking insane. The fact that the random white guy just shows that there's a gun, he's got a fucking gun in his waist, and they're just like, okay, yeah, I'll still let this guy go see a movie. Which, I mean, we learned that's not a good idea.
Did you catch the line that the lady said when he was like, she didn't take the money, and then he was like, oh, I got a credit card, and then she explains the whole thing, and she's like, so are you good on tickets? And you're like, he doesn't even have any tickets. But like, she's blatantly saying like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But like low key, it's, are you good on tickets when he has no tickets?
Dude, it drives me crazy because I worked in bars and restaurants for so fucking long that it's like, man, it doesn't like, no, it does. You have to take their money. If they, I had a couple come in, order drinks totaling in like $16. And they fucking paid me in coins. And I had to take it. I was livid that fucking night. But you know what? I had to fucking do it. So, like, it was driving me insane. The only, like, little bit of, like, woosah lithium pill was when the cops acknowledged, like, yeah, we know that club owner's crazy, too. We know it was a real 100. I was like, all right. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, even the cops are sitting here like this? What the fuck? So when they just admitted to him at the end, like when they walk him out, like, hey man, sorry, but we know you're right, but I mean, it's his business. I was like, all right, thanks for that at least.
Right. Like, but still, like, yeah, you've got to accept the money. I'm sorry, I was just a bit enamored at this end scene. Who expected Michael Vick to be in this fucking episode?
Right, that's the great surprise. I just love it when Van says,
It's Michael
Is
Vick.
he doing okay? Because that's what I was thinking too. As soon as you hear Michael Vick's out here rating, it's like, damn, is Michael Vick okay?
Man, is this new hustle? He ain't playing for the NFL no more? Like, goddamn, boy.
How about just the last 3 words of the entire episode?
It's Michael Vick.
It's Michael Vick.
But notice how...
What was that music that they played when the race was supposed to start? Was that the A-Team? Or was that Bionic Man?
I don't know. It just sounded like some kind of fanfare.
It sounded like an 80s like action television show, you know?
The thing I heard the most was the fucking DJ's outside somewhere. Because it's DJ voice and he's announcing ready, set, go. But here's
my favorite DJ line. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, my takeaway from this, though, is and you brought it. I think y'all brought it up, and it adds to my point of the whole Van and Earn separation. It's this whole notion of all night he's been trying to front and stunt for Van, and I think by the end of the night she just kind of sees like, I'd rather you just take me to a place you can't afford than you try and front and stunt on me. Because even by then, like, they were still kind of semi-okay. Like tonight...
Do you think he was doing it for Van? Or do you think he was doing it for himself, but having Van see it was a part of doing it for himself?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay, both.
I think he wants to show off for Van to show he's okay. And I think he wants to show off for himself that he can do whatever he... Like, this... It's really weird, man, because it's the real, like, if I were to say my true motivation is I want to show Van a great night, but really it's selfish reasons that I want to show Van that I can have a good night, right? Like, that's my overtone of, like, that's the excuse that I'm going to use first, but really my real reason is because I can do it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
or
no,
no,
it does.
or no.
No, it makes sense. I'm sorry. I got the scene where he's getting the check in the background on my TV, and I keep trying to see how much. I'm also trying to see who it is that's paying him, because that might explain if it was a podcast or a radio station.
It was a stream. It was something from the streaming check or something. Because
I think it might have been that streaming check.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Which is interesting to see. This is a literal payoff from the last episode. He signed up. They signed up with the streaming place,
right?
And he gets some money.
And the big thing is, this check is made out to him, not Paperboy and stuff. So like, it is like official. You know, he's
getting manager checks, bro.
Yeah, you know,
he's getting the manager checks. Well, let's start to wrap this and wind this down, man. Any other takeaways we haven't called out blatantly or haven't been aware? First of all, I just want to say, like, I love hookah bars. Before we start all this, I love hookah bars. And
I love hookah bars.
And I understand that they're pretty fucking badass in Atlanta. Apparently, Atlanta has some badass hookah bars. We don't have, I don't think, nearly those kind. Like, I think we have one or two here in Austin, but obviously it's quarantine.
I can think of two.
I think I can think of two, but that's it. Shout out to hookah bars before we get started with all this. Let's go to who started off last time. Jeff, did you start off last time?
I did.
All right, Terry, let's kick it off, man. Anything we need to round out?
I don't know why this makes me laugh so hard, but every single time I watch it, I die laughing, and this name is now going to become my username and screen name for all my gamer tags. And it's when the DJ is like fresh off of house arrest. You know her, you love her. Here comes Bankhead Barbie. She was just on house arrest for giving illegal butt injection. I was like, that's Bankhead Barbie. I want to see that girl. I hope that's a real dancer. I can't see this woman. Bankhead Barbie. Yeah.
Bankhead Barbie. Not the nicest part.
I'm going to spend a stack on Bankhead Barbie, y'all.
For those who don't know Bankhead, it's an area fucking Atlanta, not where you want to be. Jeff, any takeaways from you?
Well, first off, a question. Because I quit smoking cigarettes 7 years ago, like 6 or 7 years ago now. So I haven't smoked since, but I won't smoke hookah again. But Blake, you seem to be more aware of it than I am. Are you really not supposed to inhale hookah smoke?
I do. I have a fucking hookah. I inhale the shit out of it.
I have every fucking time I smoke hookah. I mean, between the gel and the gel on the tobacco and the water, it's like a 30th of a cigarette. Like if you don't even feel a tickle in your throat, who doesn't inhale that? But so two quick things because I gotta go with my guy Darius. One, I love when they're at the strip club and they're talking about money and how it doesn't matter if you have, like, money isn't everything. Like, you still got to be, it doesn't, the world's not going to turn for you just because you got money and this and the other. And then Darius is like trying to light 100 on fire and Paperboy just snatches it out of his fucking hand. But also, when they're with Clark County and shit, did Darius just leave a shit ton of money there?
I don't think
that was Clark's money.
Yeah, I don't think that was their money.
Darius,
because they came in and they're looking at some money. He's like, "Oh shit, you got the tub dubs."
The tub dubs.
So I think that was all his money.
Yeah.
Clark County's money.
God. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Which is weird. I don't understand why you would bring that to a recording studio.
It's Clark County, bro. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't.
He can. But I better not say nothing. I mean, because he is not the only ones with hands in the world.
Because the engineer did his job, right? He did his job, right? Like, all right.
Dude, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel bad for that engineer, but it's like, well.
All right, so I got a few questions. Is the engineer dead? Do we think he's dead? Because he might be dead. Is he dead?
I think he has some
Terry shook his head.
Terry shook his head.
I don't think that man's alive. That's why Clark County's terrifying, and I can't wait. I can't wait for more episodes with him, so you can just see how more.
Holy shit, dude! I think Clark County's thugs are playing dice in the corner.
Yes, they are.
They are.
They are.
Oh my god! How did
I've been noticed that. I've been noticed that. Like that's a.
Oh my god!
All right.
I don't think he's dead. I think he's gonna. I don't think he's going to be engineering anytime soon because I think he's going to have a very extended hospital.
I'd say he's crashed just like his computer. First,
I would say he probably can't use his hands too well,
or his teeth, or his mouth, or his body.
No, he has to have teeth to use them, and I don't think he has them anymore.
Hey, he did. Second of all, I love the fact that you had to introduce the hen trivia because. Hen was introduced twice in this episode. Once when they went to the studio, they had the half bottle, and second of all, when fucking Tracy requests Black Hen, and
Hennessy Black,
Hennessy Black, and he's like, no, we're not gonna do that. Band doesn't like that.
How presumptuous of Tracy.
And then exactly because the next line is, no matter what you get, I'm gonna drink it, so don't worry about it.
Tracy,
I think the funniest part about that is everyone knew Tracy was going to drink it, but like you don't need to say it, Tracy. No, we got you. We understand that you're the mooch here, but like you don't need
we understand you steal shoes. We understand you do the gift cards, but.
I mean, they got a no chase policy.
No chase. No matter what they do, they just got to keep giving me good customer service.
We're going to find out next week, man. We're going to find out next week. I'm going to Finish Line or Foot Locker. We'll figure it out.
They were in downtown footwear.
I need to go.
I know because I took note of it because I thought it was interesting how they had a Finish Line sign directly in the background. And I just remember thinking to myself, that is good fucking product placement.
Shout outs to them. Shout outs to them.
That's how you get a sponsor. Just like, all right, we'll just put your sign behind the dude stealing.
Yeah, at least he's not stealing here. Yeah, he's not stealing at Finish Line.
Fuck, take this episode. Do you think that they got some money from Coca-Cola?
I think you get product placement money, and if you do something right.
You do get product placement money.
For sure.
I mean, Ern could be wearing any other shirt, man. I think there's a reason he's wearing a Coca-Cola shirt.
And
I think that reason is
it's blue
Coca-Cola
too.
gave them some fucking money.
It's interesting.
Black.
It's black. I thought it was blue. It looks blue. That's not blue.
It's like a charcoal gray black.
Okay,
I thought it was green.
The coat is green.
The coat's
is
green.
green.
Coat's green. Yeah. Yeah, I could go with charcoal. On this. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting color. But yeah, I think we need to take note. Strongly take note of the relationship status of Ern and Van on this episode, going into episode 4. That's all I'm going to say and indicate as we roll into episode 4 next week. But yeah, those are my takeaways. Let's not fuck with anybody named Clark or County. Anybody's got them 2 words in their name. Never fuck with them. Let's just be A-okay.
Helen, for some reason, I don't know this episode. Man, next episode, second lowest rated in the season. But 8.0.
I think we'll get to why, but also it is very important to note the tension between Ern and Van going into that episode.
I do have one more takeaway for my fellow whites. It doesn't matter if you're quoting someone else's words. Don't drop N-bombs.
Hey,
this is their words. It's not my words. It's their word. Like,
wow,
no,
she went for it.
Don't say it.
Terry, what was it? What was it that dude said about the Flo Rida story? Can you just drop that line?
That's it. Oh yeah, I was like, really, nigga? and you know why I hate that guy even more? Because it was about a year later, I saw Flo Rida at South by Southwest, and it was so good. It was such a good set. It was an amazing set. I forgot how many hits Flo Rida had
all of them
with other people.
All the hits.
Just so good.
Completely off track, but there's a show called Silicon Valley, and they had Flo Rida in an episode. It was just so hilarious because this one guy who had no idea, he was hosting a party and he had Flo Rida there as the entertainment, and he was just so out of touch with everything that he was like, all right, and everyone, I really hope you enjoy our party, and may I please introduce on stage the artist Florida. I just laughed so hard at that line.
That's good. That's good. All right, guys. Well, let's round out this episode. Terry, where can people find you if they want to get in contact with you, get in touch with you, talk more about Atlanta with you? Take over my show a second.
I like to promote 2 different things each episode. So this one, I'm going to go with my YouTube channel of Terry Flexin. You can type that in YouTube, where I just make cooking videos that have nice, awesome trap and lo-fi beats to chill and study to. And you also get to learn a recipe. So it's like you could just do your own thing and listen and, just chill, clean up, or you could watch the video and learn a recipe.
Facts.
Terry, do you have a pasta maker?
I do not. I really need to learn how to make pasta. I have a bread maker.
Well, if you get a pasta maker, just one of the little hand crank ones, let me know and I'll give you my family's pasta recipe.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Jeff is
it's spaghetti and ravioli.
Yeah, Jeff is kind of Italian.
Just a little bit. Because we're just it's as white as the only whiter is English, and I think I'm part of that too.
Jeff, where can people find
sorry,
you?
I interrupted. You can find me on Facebook at my name, so Jeff. So yeah, there's that.
So type that in.
I don't know, man. You can find me in real life if you stay the hell away from me, 6 feet or more. Or you can find me on Blake's podcast called The Filtered Bachelor.
The Filtered?
Man, I've only done this 3
Blake,
times, and I know this. I know where the unfiltered is.
First of all, don't nobody follow Jeff. Follow Unfiltered.
Find me pissing off my good friend Blake.
Don't nobody follow Jeff Madel, M-A-D-L. Don't nobody follow him. Ever. Never. Don't nobody write no fan hate mail to him. It's Jeff, M-A-D-L. He's friends with Money Black Weather. Don't nobody follow him or write him any bad. He's a great guy. Don't nobody write him hate mail. You guys can follow Unfiltered Bachelor though on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can follow the podcast again, like I said at the start of this episode, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere podcasts are. That's where we are. Write a review, click like, click share, whatever it is, whatever it takes to tell your friends, to tell us that, hey, we're cool, or whatever way that works. Tell your friends that we're cool. Have them check us out. Write a review. Anything. Shouldn't your grandma like Atlanta? Hey, she might like us too. Or at least Jeff and Terry. Maybe not me. You guys want to follow me, Money Blake Weather, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. It's all Money Blake Weather. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Atlanta Breakdown series. And I hope you're staying corona-free, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you listen to this. Until the next time, we will see you. Peace.
Girl, what's the problem? 'Cause I know it's hard sometimes. Baby, just give me some time. Ooh, on and out, girl. We can solve them. If you just give me some time, I can open up your